Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What's going on, everyone? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. Now, if you have been staying in tune with my draft content and you like it, I'm going to need you to go ahead and smash that thumbs up button for me. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay updated on some great Philly content, we'll go ahead and hit that subscribe. I appreciate all the continued support. Let's keep on rolling. Now, here today, I just want to give my final thoughts and my final take on the Jalen Hurts selection, talk about him, talk about the effect it'll have on Carson Wentz, talk about some of the comments made by Doug Pederson and Howie Roseman, and just talk about it and give my final thoughts as a collective whole, okay? So first and foremost, what I want to say, I want to get this out of the way, this narrative that I don't like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a solid pick. I think Jalen Hurts is a dual threat quarterback who had a great year at Oklahoma and will bring a good, set of skills, a good set of tools to the Eagles roster. I do. I think Jalen Hurts is a solid pick. I don't want this narrative to come over that I don't like Jalen Hurts. None of my reaction or anything thereafter has been directed at Jalen Hurts himself. I like Jalen Hurts the player. I like Jalen Hurts the person, okay? So let's get that out of the way. Jalen Hurts will be a good locker room dude. Everything they're saying about this guy is true. My issue, and besides this, I'd say Howie Roseman redeemed himself late in the draft. Howie Roseman had a decent draft, especially late on in day 3. Got some key playmakers, filled some positions for this team, which I think will be key. But overall, that second round pick, that second round choice, that decision to go get a quarterback in the second round, I will stick by my stance. It was a terrible pick. And here is why. There are multiple factors when you look at the situation. First off, I want everyone out there who has been supporting this pick, who has been talking in the comments, telling me that I need to learn some football because this is a good pick. You are exactly right when you say that the Eagles need an insurance policy. Go back and look at what I've said in the past couple weeks. I've religiously stated the Eagles need a key veteran quarterback, a key backup that will come in and be ready because of how injury prone Carson Wentz has been. You are right. But you guys gotta take a step back and look. Not one person, okay? Not one Eagles reporter, not one Eagles YouTuber, not one Eagles Twitter media person, whatever. Not one person really in the city of Philadelphia before this draft started, when we're making mock drafts and doing all that, not one person, okay, had the Eagles selecting a quarterback high in this draft, okay? We just missed out on CeeDee Lamb. We just missed out on CeeDee Lamb. We kept our second round pick, even though I like Rager. He's a good pick. We did not want to give that second rounder up to go get CeeDee Lamb. We did not want to give that second rounder up to go get DeAndre Hopkins. Look, man, sometimes you have to be real with yourselves as a fan. Like, even when a pick is bad, you have to admit it, and you have to realize that not everything is going to go perfect. I still personally think Howie is a decent GM. But this pick was atrocious. And it's for multiple reasons. One, like I said, we could have went out and got a playmaker that could, contribute from day one. Jalen Hurts might not even touch the field all year. He might be holding a clipboard the entire year. And, when we need another receiver, Denzel Mims might be balling out with the Jets. When we need a linebacker all over the field, when the Eagles can't tackle a man, we might need that Zach Bond who falls to the Saints. And we don't have him, okay? The pick was bad. We had an opportunity there. And then on top of that, what I think makes me even more mad is this whole situation now that is going to come back in terms of the quarterback controversy. For years, and Howie Roseman knows this best, all we did was talk about Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, and you got half the fan base in on it, and you got half the fan base out on Carson Wentz, and it's just back and forth and all this pressure, and then you got the whole Alshon situation. You got writers calling Carson Wentz a bad leader, a bad teammate, and all of that. And you could tell it was getting to him. Now we have introduced that situation back to us. Whether you think about it, whether you believe it or not, it is going to come back. We'll talk about that more in just a second. I don't understand. The Eagles organization, you have Carson Wentz, right? He goes and he has that type of year he did in 2017. And I'll state it again, without Carson Wentz, the Eagles don't win a Super Bowl in 2017. Okay, so after that, the next year we go on the run. Wentz is hurt. We almost go to the championship. We lose, okay? We decide as an organization that we are going to build around Carson Wentz. We decide to put the chips in on Carson Wentz, let Nick Foles walk, and we do our thing with Wentz. And we go out and we pay Carson Wentz last year $128 million, $30 million a year. And then the next year, and keep in mind, this is after the season in which Carson Wentz answered the question. He answered the question. We wanted to know, especially after all that talk, did Carson Wentz have the leadership abilities? Could Carson Wentz do it in the key clutch situations? Well, guess what? Down the stretch, he was throwing the ball to my next door neighbor. He had nobody. Nobody on this team was healthy. And what did Carson Wentz do? He stepped up. He started to build chemistry. He showed his leadership capabilities. He put the team on his back, and we end up taking the division. And I know he got hurt again in the playoffs, even though I think it was a cheap shot that most quarterbacks would get injured on. He got hurt, you're right. But I don't understand. Why go and pay Carson Wentz this money if the next year you're basically going to say, we're half in and we're half out on you? That's what I believe this is. I believe this is Howie Roseman saying, when he says, Carson, you're a Pro Bowler. We think you're going to take us to the Super Bowl, all that. I think he means that. But at the same time, this is also a slap in the face to Carson Wentz. This is us saying, we believe you, but at the same time, we got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We believe in you. We believe in your talent. But at the end of the day, the Eagles just don't trust Carson Wentz. Let me read you a quote from Doug Pederson. He said, we just wanted him to understand that, we value the quarterback position here in Philadelphia. He's the franchise. He's the guy that's going to take us back, hopefully, one day to the Super Bowl and get to that championship level. But we also understand and wanted him to understand that we're going to continue to evaluate quarterbacks and continue to draft quarterbacks every year. Why go and pay him the money? Why? Why try to finally show him that we are putting all our belief in on you, and then we go and do this? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. We got people out here that are just defending the pick because they're saying Jalen Hurts is going to be Taysom Hill 2.0. Okay, he might. He's never played like that. Let's also realize that Taysom Hill was an undrafted quarterback, okay? The Saints never drafted Taysom Hill and said, we're going to use you in this situation. They kind of just fell into a beauty there. Like, they really didn't expect that to happen, but when they found that Hill was able to do those things, it kind of created a little trend here. And now the Eagles, I'm sure Jalen Hurts is going to be used in some of those type of situations for the Eagles. I'm sure of it. But stop trying to say that the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts specifically for that reason. No, I don't think they drafted him as a gadget player. I think he's going to contribute as a gadget player. Everyone's saying Jalen Hurts is going to come in for this team and win the Super Bowl. No, he's not NFL ready. He's not going to come in week 3, week 4, week 5 of the season and automatically be a superstar. No, it's not going to happen. That's why I think at pick 53, it was just a bad decision. And you could have went out and got a guy who will come in with more veteran experience, who will be ready to run an offense. I don't think Jalen Hurts will be ready to take over the Eagles offense if he has to come in right away. It'll be his first NFL experience. It's not his fault. But in the end, like I'm saying, the Eagles just don't trust Carson Wentz. It is a slap in the face. It's sad because, like I said, Carson Wentz, after answering the question, after finally answering that question of can you be a leader, brings us to the playoffs. We pay him. We make him the dude. He's entering his prime. He's 27 years old. This is the time, especially when quarterbacks are getting ready to, succeed, and we still haven't given him a number one. We still haven't given him a number one. You could say Alshon Jeffrey. I think Alshon has been a solid player back, in 2017. But when I think of definitive number ones, I don't think of Alshon Jeffrey. All of this together as a collective, it just brings me to say, honestly, in the end, Howie Roseman just doesn't trust and doesn't respect Carson Wentz the way he's done some other players. It's sad to say, but it is true. And I understand if Carson feels some type of way. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll go through this, as a professional. But let me tell you, that pressure, that quarterback pressure now is on. Because, again, you have this fan base split. Every time Carson throws a bad pass, it's going to be, let's put Jalen Hurts in. Every time, if Carson comes up hobbling, it's going to be, let's trade him. Let's get him out of here. He's injury prone. I just don't think it was a smart pick at that time. Like I said, I'll welcome Jalen Hurts. Welcome to Philadelphia. I think he'll be a decent addition to the locker room. And I do think one day he's going to probably end up starting, probably for another team. All this trade bait, though, no. Howie's not going to flip Jalen Hurts. People are saying that he said, oh, we're going to use him as value. No, don't believe that. He got him as insurance, like some of you guys are saying. But it's because he doesn't trust Carson Wentz, and it still doesn't make sense when you go and pay him the money and make him the dude. We need playmakers around him. We need guys, and there were a lot on the board at that time. And at that time, I just don't think it was a solid pick. I just think it's crazy, man. Like, you even got Doug Pederson saying things like, oh, we're trying to increase the competition in the quarterback room. Like, come on, man. We need to respect Carson Wentz. I've said it's okay to cherish Nick Foles and respect Carson Wentz. Honestly, man, it's just like a slap in the face. It's like we're taking a step back with Wentz. Sometimes you have to take the risk. Sometimes you have to push the chips into the middle of the table and trust it. And if he gets hurt and he's never able to live up, maybe if Carson Wentz gets a couple more injuries, maybe he's done. But still, man, it's just like while he's here, while he's shown that elite potential, you have to give him the respect he deserves. And you have to go out and build this team and prepare for him the best you can. And I do think we did outside of that pick. But I'm telling you, that pick, it was bad for the timing, and now it's going to create another controversy. Think about this. Come preseason, I already can see what's going to happen. I can see it clear as day. Knowing Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts is going to come out and ball in the preseason. He's going to go absolutely nuts. And then what do we say? What are we going to say when we have Carson Wentz, who we've trusted in, who we've paid, who we've built around, and then you have Jalen Hurts, who there's been all this controversy about, and now he's performing up to par. What are we going to do? Do we trade Wentz? Do we trade Hurts? Do we leave Hurts on the bench while he's shown that he has potential? Like, what do we do at that point? That's why I think this is a sticky situation. And I just will not defend that pick. You're right. We need that backup quarterback. But we could have gone free agency. We could have gone later in the draft. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What do you think about the Jalen Hurts selection? Do you think it was the right pick in the second round? Do you think the Eagles organization, Howie and Doug, believe in Carson Wentz? Let me know all your guys' thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.